So I thought I would just give you a wee 6-month review of my Giant Contend AR1 because it's had winter and spring to ride through, and it's done a fair amount of commuting in that time, so time for a wee update on how it's getting on. So I got this back end of November, I think, that was roughly when it was, and I've ridden it on road and rougher path, and it's been used for my commute to work. Now, I really enjoy this bike. It has exceeded expectations. I'll give you an example of why. If we look at the weather outside today, it's actually turned into a nice day. Now, because it's been raining here where I am, I took this bike out, but that's a testament to how good it is. Normally at this time of year, I would be taking out my TCR, but given I thought the cycle paths might have a few puddles on them and stuff, I actually took this out. Whereas normally this time of year I would suffer a couple of puddles, but I just enjoy riding this bike so much. The aluminium frame is fine. In fact, it's got a nice geometry. Actually, if I was going to do any longer rides or an odd axe or something, I would probably consider using this bike because it's such a comfortable position, so I do really like that about it. I kept the 32mm tyres on. As you can see, there is enough clearance that you could go bigger than that. And although I've not really done gravel on it, I've done rough substances, but it would take gravel tyres and I would be more than confident on it on the gravel. The 105 group set was just fantastic. You can't beat it. It just does the job perfectly. It is still shifting as smooth as it was when the bike was new, and I have not had to do any adjustments to it whatsoever. And the 105 hydraulic discs still working great. I do like the seat as well. It's the first Giant seat I've had with a bike that I've actually kept on because I quite like it. It's quite a kind of snub-nosed, but it is a very comfortable seat as well. Usually the stock seats that come are poor to say the least, but I've kept this one on. And the diffuse seat post is good as well, which gives a wee bit more comfort. So if I was going to go over any complaints, they are far outweighed by the pros to this bike. I'm not a fan of Giant's wheels. I don't think they're the greatest. Now I'll give you an example why. So here, for example, is a Giant PR2 wheel, and it came with my TCR. I immediately switched out for my Cerium Elites that I have, but I used these on my Contend just so I had a nicer road wheel if I was doing mostly road miles. But there is significant play in this already, and I actually changed the bottom bracket on this bike thinking it was the bottom bracket was creaking. It was actually the wear and the internal hub in here, and given that I barely had these wheels my new bike and they've maybe cycled about, I don't know, 500k to 1000k, that's really quite poor. I mean, the creak was incredible. I actually maybe still think I've got a wee video of it and I'll give you an example of it. But, yeah. But yeah, I'm now finding these wheels possibly built to take the bigger tyres and a wee bit more of a knock are maybe better. They've done the majority miles, however, I'm getting the same play and I'm starting to get the creak coming from the wheel here. So my next investment will probably be a better set of wheels that will fit a nice 30mm tyre that will do a bit of everything. The tyres that come are pretty decent. Kept them on because you might as well keep them on. I did have one puncture that wouldn't seal properly one day. I did use one of the tyre plugs that you can use, and it's kept it inflated. I don't know if I can actually find it. Yep, there we go. That's the end of the wee plug there, and that's actually been in there for 3 or 4 months, so they're doing okay. Tyres are nice and comfortable, but I probably will go for something else as soon as I get some new wheels for it. I would say it can be a fairly noisy bike. I mean, just at the price point that it's sitting at, it has internal cabling, which I like. Makes everything a lot neater, and especially if it's a winter stroke commuting bike, it keeps the wet out. However, it can be a bit rattly on rougher surfaces or rougher roads, and I'll show you why by flipping the bike upside down. The cables just come out what is essentially a hole in the frame. There's not a separate hole for each cable, which I've got in my other bikes, so inside there it can be a bit rattly, but if you're in nice smooth roads you don't hear it at all. But that would be one of my only other gripes about the bike, that I just think this could be a little bit neater, but again, we're at a price point here where you're getting 105 on a bike, so this isn't an elite level bike, which I've got to remember. So all in all, I would really recommend this Giant Contend, especially if you can get the AR1, which comes with Shimano 105. If not, you're getting the same frame in a different colour, I think with Tiagra, but it's a decent system and you could upgrade over time. So as I said, I would more than recommend this bike. It's really comfortable, it's got an excellent solid frame, nice relaxed geometry, can fit a wide range of tyres for a wide range of surfaces. Great Shimano 105, bit rattly, but you know that rattle isn't actually anything serious. And the one thing I would say is, if you've got a good set of wheels already, get them on, and if you haven't, that would be the first upgrade to do on your new bike. But all in all, I really recommend this bike.